Hi beautiful souls, it's Shenry and with me today is Shaman Jonathan, and we're going to take you through the basics of how to do a room clearing. So Jono, over to you.
Hi all. Today we're just going to do an informative video, not an actual cleansing as per se. So first of all, what I do is I set up a little mini sacred space. I bring in the four elements: fire, water, wind and earth.
So that, I'm assuming, would be the wind.
The fire.
That's the fire?
That's the fire.
Okay.
The crystals are the earth.
Yes.
And then the holy water.
Yes.
And then the holy oils as well.
Okay. And this over here again is
That's
just crystal for
just
earth.
my crystal. That's.
And then just explain some, we've got 2 lots of incense burning. So what kind of incense?
We've got white sage
Okay.
burning there, and this is one that I make up myself with white sage, frankincense, vanilla extract and spearmint.
Okay, and then the last thing I see here is this. What is
Salt.
this? Salt. Okay.
Also earth.
And then you've got a card here of an angel.
That's Angel Michael. I always call in protection before I start, and I invoke him and ensure that he is present before I start.
Okay, and you always use Angel Michael.
I use Angel Michael.
But you can use any angel you want
Whichever
to.
one resonates with you. I also bring in my totem animal, the giraffe, to assist me. Sometimes Raphael comes through, spirit guides, all sorts of people will come through.
So if you're clearing a whole house, would you need to set the space up in every single room, or is it enough to set it up in one room?
Just in one room, normally in the dining room or kitchen or a central space.
Okay, and then would you then go through and clear every single room in the house?
Except for the bathrooms. I normally find that due to the flushing of water and the movement and the cleansing, cleaning your teeth and that type of thing, bathrooms very seldom need a cleansing.
Okay, so what do? Now you've got your whole sacred space set up and things like that. Is there anything you need to do now? Do you need to ground? Do you need to pray?
What I do is, as I say, is bring in protection. Very important. And understand this is more of an energy cleansing than a entity or spirit type of cleansing.
So this wouldn't work for entities or something very, very scary?
It definitely helps, but I'd rather call in somebody who knows what's going on in case they attach or
whatever the case may be. Okay, perfect. All right, so you've come into the room, you've called in protection. Now what do?
We'd light our sage. Normally you'd have a sage stick. However, in South Africa it's not easy to get white sage. So that's why I've created my own. But the principle is the same. Mm-hmm. With the wand, whether it be with a feather or just your hand, that's your air. Okay. So that's your movement. Also music, and it doesn't have to be soft, gentle music. Hard rock is also good because the speaker will get the movement of the air. Hence brings in the air energy as well.
That's really interesting. So loud music.
Loud music.
So if you wanted to pair this with like one of those frequencies for home clearing, that would be really good to play loud while you're doing this.
100%.
Could you also do like, I love using Anna Bechoch, so could I say Anna Bechoch out loud the whole time while I'm doing it?
Or the Lord's Prayer.
Or the Lord's Prayer.
Or any prayer that's
important to you.
Yeah.
That has relevance for you. Okay, perfect. So now what do?
Well, first of all, we assess the area where energy is a dark mass. So I normally walk in. Luckily, I'm gifted that I can see energies. But most people will just feel them, feel a heavy...
I'm like that. I just feel stuff.
Yeah, it's just like a heavy, horrible feeling.
Okay.
So once we've lit our sage, let's assume the energy is sitting there. It normally gets trapped in a corner, underneath stuff where you don't normally cleanse. For this video we've closed the door for noise, but I have opened the windows, so open all the windows and the doors so that we can get that energy to lift.
Okay, that's important. Open all the windows and doors.
And also where a lot of people go wrong with space cleansing is they'll clear the negative energy, but they don't fill the void.
Okay.
So negative energy comes back in again.
So how do you fill the void then?
Each room have an intention. So for example, in your bedroom you would have peaceful sleep, passion, communication. In your kitchen you would have nourishment, family time, if you spend time in the kitchen.
Abundance of food.
Abundance. In your study, like what we're doing here, would be creativity.
Workflow.
Workflow.
Passion.
Abundance of physical wealth, Nothing wrong with getting rich.
Yes.
Um,
So I've heard. People keep telling me.
and you just go through and just spend a bit of time on each room.
Okay.
Your TV room where you're watching TV would be relaxation, knowledge maybe. Children's bedrooms would be knowledge, peace, harmony.
All right, perfect. So how are we going to use these elements now to take the negative energy out? We've grounded, we've protected ourselves, we've done all of that. What are we going to do now?
We now take our smudge stick. I put this underneath because it gets hot sometimes. I personally, this is my crystal that's been with me for many, many years. This just gives me insight, grounding, and a lot of confidence and courage should I walk into anything. And that I just hold in my hand. So we'd approach it, and out loud we would say, any negativity, any negative energy that may be trapped in this space, whether brought in intentionally or unintentionally, may you be lifted and returned to your place of origin in love and light now. Lifted and returned to your place of origin in love and light now. Lifted and returned to your place of origin in love and light now. And as you are lifted, may this space be filled with concentration, abundance, peace, harmony, and creativity. And then we'd move on to the next area.
And you would go corner by corner, I'm assuming.
And if, for example, I'm walking and I just feel here, maybe it might just be a bit of uncomfortableness. Once again, any negativity that may be trapped in this space, whether brought in intentionally or unintentionally, may you be lifted and returned to your place of origin in love and light. Now, say that 3 times. Once it's lifted, bring in the positivity to fill that void.
Okay, fantastic. So then you've cleared the whole room. I saw you only did the bottom corners. Is it necessary to go up to the top corners as well?
If you're feeling there's something trapped up there, but normally the sage smoke will collect all the negativity, and because it's hot, it will float upwards.
Okay, that's fantastic. All right, and then once you've done that, once you've finished with that with the room, can you close with a prayer, or what do you do after that?
You can close with a prayer, and also that's where I'll bring in the holy water, where I'll seal the doors.
Okay.
On the left-hand side, a cross.
All right.
On the right-hand side, a Star of David.
Okay.
And above the door, the infinity.
Oh, all right.
Sign.
And is there anything you say as you use the holy water to make those signs?
Not specifically.
Okay. And is there anything else they need to know? So once you've gone through and you've done each room like this, you've taken out the negative energy, you've put in the positive intention, possibly closed each room with a prayer, how do you end? What do you do afterwards?
You seal off the entire space.
Okay.
With your holy water or your oils, and you just say, may this space be protected from negative energy. However, negative energy will always come in. So it should be done on a regular basis.
So how much is a regular basis?
How long is a piece of string? If there's a lot of aggression in the house,
okay.
once a week.
So if you've had a big party at your house, is it a good idea to do a clearing afterwards?
Yeah.
If you've had a fight in the house, is it a good idea to do a clearing afterwards?
A death in the house, an illness in the house.
Okay.
And strangely enough, puberty.
All right.
If there's people with puberty in the house, at least once a week.
And if you're like me, where you move furniture non-stop all the time, and every time you come here, the house has changed?
Also, if you can imagine negative energy as this heavy, dark mass that lies on the floor. So when you're moving furniture, it's great. It moves it around, and it'll get trapped in the corners.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, cool beans. Thank you very much, Jono.
Thank you. God bless to all.
God bless.